What's up, KGS? Headmaster here. And as you can see, I've got a friend. In fact, I've got a few friends to help me out with today's quiz. So it's the end of the week. We've had the Friday finale. So we're now on to the Friday end of week quiz on all things Disney. And I promise you guys as well that we'll include a little bit of Marvel in there as well. So I've got Iron Man here to help me out, Lego Iron Man, and I've also got a bit of Star Wars, got the Millennium Falcon in the background there. Thank you, Johnny, for that. So here we go with the quiz. We're going to do the 6 sections of 5 questions. So 30 questions in all. We're going to do 2 sections, so 10 questions at a time. Hi, Nelson. How are you? Good to see you. Do use the chat if you need anything repeating or you don't understand or you disagree with the answer. Obviously, my decision is final. But if you disagree with the answer, tell me. And if I'm wrong, I might concede a point here or there. Keep your own scores. Feedback at the end, how you got on. So at the end of each section or 2 sections, every 10 questions, we'll go through the answers so you can see you're getting on and just tell me how you're getting on out of 10. It'll be out of 30 in total unless I add in any bonus questions. And yeah, just stay in touch. Let me know getting on. So Mickey is here to help me, but he's a bit big to hold on to and ask the questions. So Mickey's going to go down for a bit. I'm going to get somebody more manageable to kind of help me out. Here's the folder. Hey, Robbie, do you put your answers in the chat? No, Robbie, keep your answers to yourself. You write them down and you keep them. And I trust you to keep your own score. Just use the chat for, can you repeat that question? Or I don't agree with that answer. Or what is that about? Whatever you want to put, or just your hellos, how are you? So, yeah, Robbie, keep your answers to yourself. Got it. Okay. Thanks, Johnny. So, crikey, anyone remember This Is Your Life, Eamon Andrews, the big red book. Here we go. I've got the red folder on the go. So who's going to help me with the first few questions? Let's get Tigger involved. So Tigger, here we are. Question number 1, and these questions, each set of 5, start easy and then get progressively harder, I think. So it may be that you guys say, oh, that one was really easy, or that one was easier than that. Anyway, the point is you should get the first couple, then it gets a bit harder. So question 1, section 1, this is Disney classic, this section, these 5 questions. And question 1 is, who is the boy that never grew up? Who is the boy who never grew up? Okay, thanks, Tigger. Who is the boy that never grew up? Of course, you don't have to go far if you're going to go looking for Tigger to find Pooh. So Pooh's coming to help me with this one as well. Okay, question 2. What animals do the boys transform into on Pleasure Island in Pinocchio? So in the film or the story Pinocchio, on Pleasure Island, where all the naughty boys go, and Pinocchio joins them, what do they get turned into? What animals? Bit of a clue. If you don't know, just guess an animal. Okay. Thanks, Winnie. You want to stay for another question? Okay, Winnie wants to stay for another question. Question 3, still on animals. What is the name of the monkey in The Lion King? Now, I don't want his breed, which is he's a mandrill, and that's the type of monkey he is. I want his actual name. So in The Lion King, the monkey that is in fact a mandrill, I think some people think it's a baboon or something, but it's not. What's his name? Okay, so sorry, Tessa, you're stuck already. Crikey. Okay, who never grew up? Number 1, you must know that one, right? Number 2, what do the boys get turned into in Pinocchio on Pleasure Island? Number 3, what's the name of the monkey? I bet you know that one. Okay, thanks, Pooh. Let's see if we can. Question 4. Get the Mickey hands on. What decade was the original Cinderella released? What was the decade of the original Cinderella? And I'm giving you a decade, so I've got a bit of scope there because that is a toughie. Okay? Living for the props. Thank you, Johnny. Absolutely. I know the Mickey hands are amazing. The problem with Mickey hands is, and I don't know if anyone else found this with the big foam hands, once you get one on, you need somebody here to help you to get the other one on. So I'm just here with like 1.5 Mickey hands. I've got some Mickey ears as well. Maybe I'll save those up and put some Mickey ears and Mickey hands on later on when we're taking a break in between rounds. I might put those back in the box. So that's question 4, the decade of the original Cinderella. Question 5, and hopefully I'm not going too fast. Just say if I'm going too fast for you. Who is the first ever character to speak in Disney's first feature-length movie? Now that's tough because you've got to know what the first feature-length movie is, work out who's in it, and then think who speaks first. Okay. Who is the first character to speak in Disney's first ever feature-length movie? I didn't have an assistant for that one. I'm gonna bring it. Hey, look at that. There we go. It's a little stroke there. So, does anyone need any of those first 5 repeating? No. Sounds good. All right. So let's move from Disney classic to Disney modern. Question mark. Don't forget, they start easy, get harder. So if you go, oh, of course, yeah, supposed to. Okay. So number 1 in Disney modern. Who played the character of Captain Jack Sparrow in all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies? Who played the character Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies? Which actor? What's his name? I was so tempted to bark and it'd just be silly with this kind of, but that would be ridiculous, right? Okay, so question 2, still on Disney modern. Where should we go? Oh no, I left Piglet behind. We had Pooh and we had Tigger, but we didn't get Piglet out. Sorry, Piglet. What Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale was the film Frozen loosely based on? They were going to actually base it entirely, and then they decided that might be a bit too dark, so they gave it a bit of a twist and gave the characters a bit more of an upbeat presence and ending. So what Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale was the film Frozen loosely based on? Okay. Now, nobody said repeat the question, so we can't be buffering, and either that or you've all just tuned out. I don't know. Maybe this is just me asking myself questions. I think there's a few of you there still. I think Robbie's still there, Nelson's there, Tessa's there, Johnny's there, which must mean some of the fam are there. So give me a hello if you're there. If you're not, if you get, just drop a little note in the chat if you can. Just convince me there are people on the other end that it's not me and Piglet doing this quiz for our own benefit. So question 3: what's the name of the family that Mary Poppins comes to help? Now that's true of either film, so don't say is that Mary Poppins or Mary Poppins Returns, because the family name is the same in both films. What's the name of the family that Mary Poppins comes to help? Thanks, Piglet. Now we're getting into some classic Disney. So modern questions, but classic Disney. So this is one of our favourite Minnie Mouses from the fam's collection. Obviously, this belongs to the girls, not to me. All the others, they're mine. Yeah, but no. And question 4: what was the first ever Disney Pixar film? I might give you a bonus if you can tell me the year, but that's a bonus. You don't need it. Have a guess. Why not? What was the first ever Disney Pixar movie? You could probably have a really good guess at that. And a guess at the year? I'd have been in my 20s. Might give you a bit of a clue. No, not 1937. Ethan, you're a fan of the Lego, Ethan. Hey, I know all the family are doing. Thanks, Ethan. That's really great to know. They're all there. Great. So I just finished building the Millennium Falcon the other day, and then I put it back in the box because I didn't have room for it. But I hope you like the DB5. I think Mr. Cooper's building one of those at the moment. It's a real box of tricks. So question 5 of this Disney modern section. This is the toughie. Okay. No extra marks for this. You either know it or you don't. I'm going to throw it out there. And Tess is alone. Tess, I tell you what, Tess, I'll try and throw in some clues for you, okay? She's on her own there, poor old Tessa. Question 5 of modern, so the last of the 2 sections before I get to the answers on those sections. What is the letter number combination? You have to listen to this one really carefully. What's the letter number combination? I'll give you a clue. It's 1 letter, 3 numbers. What's the letter number combo that was created, that is by the California Institute of Arts, that appears as an Easter egg. Now, we all know what an Easter egg is in the movies, in almost every Pixar movie and lots of other Disney movies too. What's the letter number combo that appears in the Pixar movies and lots of Disney movies too? 1 letter, 3 numbers. And again, if you don't know, choose a letter, choose 3 numbers. Okay, so that's a real toughie. And the clues in there about the number of letters and the number of numbers, Tessa, hopefully it gives you a shout to at least have a stab at it. Okay, so I hope that's first 10 questions down. I hope everybody's kind of got something down for each of them. Just before I run through the answers, does anybody want any of those 10 repeated? I'll wait a moment just in case there's a slight delay between kind of comment and popping up on my screen. Just let me know if any of that didn't come through clearly or you weren't sure. Okay, let's go for it. All right, here we go. So the answer to question 1, the boy who never grew up, Peter Pan. Hopefully everyone got that one, okay? And these are all worth 1 mark each unless I say otherwise, okay? Question 2, what animals do the boys transform into in Pinocchio? They transform into, or they get transformed into donkeys, okay? That's what happens to naughty boys, donkeys. Okay. Question 3. What is the name of the mandrill, the monkey in The Lion King? He is Rafiki. Don't worry how you spell that. You give it 1 F, 1 K, 2 Fs, 2 Ks, 1 of each, 2 of each, 1 of one, 2 of the other. Rafiki. Okay. If it reads as Rafiki, you've got it. Okay. Question 4. Cinderella was in the 1950s. Okay, and actually, to be precise, it was 1950, 26 July 1950. The reason that's a toughie is because a lot of people think it's a 1960s movie. It's got that kind of 60s feel to it, but it's 1950s. Tess is kicking herself. Which one did you get wrong, Tess? Nelson, same. Did you guys go for the 60s? And Johnny's watching on a laptop and listening via FaceTime. Oh, my goodness. Okay, right. So just tell me if you need anything repeated, Johnny. Okay. And the first character to speak in Disney's first ever feature-length movie, it's from Snow White, which gives you a bit of a clue. But it's not Snow White. It's the evil queen with the whole mirror, mirror on the wall phrase. So mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? She finds out it's Snow White. Okay. So Peter Pan, donkeys, Rafiki, Cinderella 1950s, and the evil queen in Snow White. Okay. Disney modern, Captain Jack Sparrow was played by Johnny Depp. I'm sure everybody knew that. Even Tessa, I bet you got that right. And Gemma, your sister knew the first line as well. Bonus. If anybody actually said it's the evil queen saying mirror, mirror on the wall, okay, I'm going to give you a bonus for that. So that this first section is now out of 11. Okay, but everyone's going to need a bonus at some point, I promise you. So Captain Jack Sparrow is Johnny Depp. The Hans Christian Andersen tale that Frozen's based on is The Snow Queen. And if anybody's ever seen The Snow Queen, they'll know that actually it's slightly darker. She's a slightly darker character. And originally Elsa was going to be a dark character, and Anya was going to be the kind of the hero that saved people from Elsa. And as they put it together, they thought it just didn't work. And they wanted both female role models to be heroes and work together. So they switched it up a bit. But Frozen is based on the Snow Queen. Does the Ice Queen count? Yeah, I'll give you Ice Queen. Yeah. Okay, Nelson. Absolutely. You can take Ice Queen. Just you then. If anyone else wrote Ice Queen, no, just Nelson. Okay, because he asked, and he asked nicely. Okay. So the name of the family that Mary Poppins comes to help is the Banks family. George Banks and Mrs. Banks. Can never remember her first name, but I do remember that she's a suffragette. Okay, so there's a whole dilemma of her being a suffragette for women's rights, and yet they employ a female nanny to look after the children. Okay, but Mary Poppins comes to help the Banks. And Jane and Michael Banks are the children, and they're the grown-up characters. Of course, Michael Banks' children in Mary Poppins Returns. So it's the Banks family. The first ever Disney Pixar film is Toy Story. Again, maybe have a guess. That you got that on a guess, right? So it's Toy Story, and that was in 1995. So if anybody got 1995, no, you can't have 1994, 1996 because that was a bonus. So you have to have 1995. And I was in my 20s in 1995, I promise, honestly. So, yeah, that's Toy Story 1995. And the Easter egg number letter combo to round off this section, this is the toughie, is A113. Now, that's kind of when you either knew it or you didn't. And I'm assuming most people wouldn't. The reason it's A113 It's the letter number combo of the classroom that the animation people worked in when they were studying at the California Institute of Arts. That was their classroom number. So if you watch through the Disney Pixar movies, you will see A113 dotted around somewhere in each of them, because that's the classroom where they all learned and studied to draw and do their work, which eventually led on to them creating those great movies. We had A123. Ethan, take a half for that. That's just so close. Ethan, take a half for A123. And Johnny says he guessed A113. How do you guess A113? You must have known that. That must have been somewhere in the memory banks up there, and you kind of dragged it out. Okay, so here we go. Section 3, section 4. So both 5 questions each. Again, both increasing in difficulty. I'll tell you if it's worth more than 1 mark. Section 3 is Disney Parks. And section 4 is Marvel, the one that some of you have been waiting for. Okay, so here we go. Disney Parks, and officially this is question 11. How many, I'll have to get, where is he? I'll get the little Mickey out. There he is. I've got the prop for this one. If you're in a Disney park, how many Mickey Mouse characters are there present in that park at any one time? So if you were roaming around the park, how many Mickeys would be on a meet and greet or a photo op or doing a lunch or a breakfast with somebody? Okay, how many Mickeys are around at any one time? Okay, thanks, Mickey. Okay, I'm just going to put it. I'll bring you back for the answer to that one. But Minnie said, if Mickey's coming out, can she come out too? Question 12. Which princess castle is the Magic Kingdom in Disney World, Walt Disney World, based on? Which princess castle is the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World based on? It's a traditional princess, so probably can't go too far wrong. Probably have a good stab at that. And it's not the same as the one at Disneyland Paris. So this is the Walt Disney World one. Which princess's castle is the Magic Kingdom based on? Disneyland Paris. So this is question 13. When it opened in 1992, and I was still in my 20s then as well, by the way, what was it originally called? What was the original name of Disneyland Paris when it opened in 1992? So, Rough House Media, they've got 6.5. Okay, the Fitzgeralds, you got 6.5 out of 10 in the first round. So we 10 out of 11, 6.5. So that's good. Any other first round scores coming through? Can anybody beat 6.5? That puts the Fitzgeralds in front. Okay, just don't forget to post through your scores, see how we're getting on. No cheating. Don't just say I've got 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10. What did you get? Okay, don't forget, I'll know. It's my job. Tess got 4. So Tess, you're on your own. That's pretty good. Okay, so if a family altogether are getting 6, 6.5, and you got 4, you're doing a great job. Nelson 6, well done. Is out of 12. If you add on all the bonuses, Gemma, yeah, it is. I'm kind of doing it out of 10. Because that's the kind of, you're right. Johnny got 8. Gemma, exactly, bonus points, exactly. So I'm going to say it's out of 10, unless you've got 11 or 12, in which case then obviously for you it's out of 11 or 12. We'll put it together at the end. Ethan, 6.5. Okay, so that's easy. So Gemma, you've asked me, isn't it out of 12? But you haven't told me what you and the fam got. What are you on? I've got to give a Minnie a bit of height here. So 6.5, 8. So 6.5, 4, 6, 8. Okay, seems to be a good range of scores coming through. Now, which Disney movie, this is question 14, is the Spinning Teacups ride based on? Now, the Spinning Teacups ride is at 2 Disney parks, Disneyland Paris and Disneyland Hong Kong. But which movie, which film, which Disney film is it from? Gemma got 10. Okay. So that's 10 out of 12 effectively. So you must have got, you missed one, but you got a bonus. So absolutely. So take that as a 10 out of 10, Gemma. That's kind of A-star all the way. And nobody's lower than a C. Here you go. You've got a teacher head on giving you grades. You don't want grades. Okay. Well done, everyone. This is you're going really well. And Tess, don't worry about her getting 10. She's sitting there doing it with other people. Her sister got the first line, got bonus points. You're on your own. Okay. So don't compare yourself to others. Just be the very best version of yourself you can be. See if you can get better next round. Okay. Question 15, so the last one of this section on Disney parks. within 5 years, so I'll give you a bit of leeway here. Within 5 years, when did the first Disney park, which was Disneyland in Anaheim, California, within 5 years, when did it open? Okay, within 5 years. Sorry, look, Minnie, I keep relegating her down the screen. It's like, maybe I should just get her thing up there. Okay. Within 5 years, when did the first Disneyland park in Anaheim, California, when did it open? I was on a train the other day. Well, a few weeks ago, not weeks and weeks ago, actually. So the other day, weird. No, obviously we were all in lockdown. But the last time I was on a train in California, riding down the coast, absolutely beautiful. The Pacific Surfliner goes down the coast. It's got a stop for Disney. And even though I wasn't going there, that temptation to get off the train and just go, oh, just one ride, just one look. I didn't, obviously, but, you know, big temptation. Okay, so does anybody need 11 to 15? Any of those repeated? Is everyone okay on those? Just say quickly before I move on to section 4, which starts with question 16, which is the Marvel section, the Marvel movies. Now, I was tempted to get Iron Man back in the game, but actually I've got a number of heroes to get through. So this is, you'll all recognize Merida from Brave, right? So Merida's come to help me with the Marvel section because she is brave. So she can cope with all that. Okay, so question 16. This is easy because I'm giving you a nice broad kind of like span of answers. So it's not an easy question, but might be quite easy to answer, if that makes sense. Avengers Endgame is the highest grossing movie of all time, rounding to the closest $100 million. And you're allowed to be within 300 to 400 million. Okay. How much did it take at the box office? Okay, so within $100 million. So you'll go for like 1.6 or 7.2 or something like that. That's, or 4.0, whatever you like. But don't go into it took 4,137,092. Okay, so within $100 million, and I'm going to give you a span of 300 to 400 million. I haven't decided yet how generous I want to be on that. What was the takings for Avengers Endgame, the highest grossing movie of all time? Izzy got 10 on the first round as well. Congratulations, Izzy. You are smashing it. Okay. Is that you and the fam? So it's kind of, I think that the message here is the more people you've got involved, the better you do. So bear that in mind for next week if you can. Okay. So question 17. Which key Avenger switched actor after his initial movie? Pretty much all the Avengers, to my knowledge, have stayed the same actor throughout. Which one changed? So there was one actor in the first movie, and then by the time he appeared in the second movie, there was a different actor. Okay, so 17. Which key Avenger switched actor after their first movie? Now, bonus points here. This is the character we want. So who was the Avenger? But if you can name both actors, I'll give you a bonus. Not if you can name one of them, because that's quite easy. But if you can name both actors, the original and the changed one, then there's a bonus. Okay. Question 18. Who was the first female Avenger? Who was the first female Avenger? And bonuses, name two others. Okay, again, 1 mark if you can name two others, because again, naming one other might be a bit easy, but if you can name two others. Now, this is where I might say, I think it's these two, and you might come on the chat and say, but don't forget about that one and that one. And I'll say, oh yeah, you can have that one, because I might have forgotten about somebody. Okay, so who was the first female Avenger? And bonuses if you can name two other female Avengers. Now, where are we? Question 19. Tell me if I get my numbering wrong as well, because I haven't got the numbers written down, so I'm doing it here. Okay, question 19. What is Thor's hammer called? Okay, Gemma, is this movie-wise or actual Avenger history? This is movie-wise because it's about the this is in the movies. Yeah, it's about the Marvel movies. So in terms of the first female Avenger, yeah, it's not about it's not the chronology. No, it's about the order of the movies. Because obviously in chronology, Captain America is the first Avenger, but he's not the first one that appears, because that would be, I think Iron Man is the first film that comes out in phase 1. So this is about the order of the movies. Thank you. That's a really good kind of clarification. So question 19, what is Thor's hammer called? And apart from Thor, which other two characters can lift it? Which other two characters are worthy? Now, we're not including his father Odin here because he doesn't lift the hammer. He distances it from Thor. He sends it off and says, make yourself worthy of it. What's the hammer called? And who are the other two people who can actually physically lift it? Okay. So bonus is there. And for that one, I'm going to give an extra bonus point for each person that you can name. So not the two. So with the Avenger that changes actor, you need both to get the bonus. With the female Avengers, you need you need at least two to get a bonus point. But with this, I'm going to give you a bonus point for each other person you can name that can lift Thor's hammer. I've got to be really careful. I'm not giving away answers when I'm spieling. I keep wanting to say things, and then I think I'm holding back just about okay. So, question 20. Stan Lee has a cameo in all the Marvel movies right up to Endgame. That was just after he passed away, but they'd already recorded it. So he has a cameo in all Marvel movies. He even makes a cartoon cameo appearance in Big Hero 6, which I thought was one of the best I've seen. But in his first cameo of the new phase, in the Phase 1 movie, Iron Man, when he appears at a party, who does Tony Stark mistake him for? Now, I told you these questions get harder as they go up, okay? So who does Stan Lee get mistaken for at a party by Tony Stark in his cameo in his first of the new phase of Marvel movies? Stan Lee's had cameos in an enormous number of movies. He's done more cameos than Alfred Hitchcock. I think he grew to love it in the end, right? So, he's still right up to Endgame. So, Merida, thank you for the help. You're going to join all the other Disney stars that have helped thus far. As we move on to, anyone recognize this little character? He's got more arms than you can shake a stick at. Hello, Stitch. How you doing? Right, here we go. Disney music. Oh, is that? Oh, no, that's the end, isn't it? That's the end of kind of 20, isn't it? Right, I need to give you the answers. Okay, Stitch, you're here for the answers. All right, here we go. So let me know. Do you need? Hi, Alex. Yeah, you recognize Stitch. Thanks, Alex. Did anybody need any of those questions 11 to 20 repeated, particularly with all the bonuses? And I'm relying on Gemma to keep track of how many points this is now out of with all the bonuses. She's on that. So she worked out that the first 10 questions were actually out of 12. And now by the time we get to the end of 20, I'd like Gemma to tell me how many it's actually out of. But if you get a low score, just make it out of the minimum possible. And if you get a really high score, make it out of the maximum possible. So make it easier on yourself or test yourself, okay? Anybody need any questions repeated? All coming through loud and clear. Cool. Okay. Might be a bit of a delay. Just pausing just in case. Here we go. So, we're going to get Mickey back for this one. Where's he gone? I said I'd put him down here because I need to get him back. Here we go. 1 second. He's starting to kind of. He was edging away. He was like, I don't want to be here. Look after Stitch for me, Mickey. Okay. The question was, in Disney parks, how many Mickey Mouse characters are present in a Disney park at any one time? Now, the reason this is an easy question is because the answer is one, because there's only one Mickey Mouse. Did you not know that? There is only one Mickey Mouse. They will only ever, it's their rule to only ever have one Mickey Mouse out at any time in a Disney park in case a child sees two of them at the same time, which will ruin it. So they only ever have one at any one time. Can I repeat 13? I can. Tessa, what was Disneyland Paris originally called when it opened in 1992? What was the original name of Disneyland Paris? Okay. And Alex Michael. Alex, don't answer the questions on chat. Okay? You write down the answers. You're giving people the answers. Keep the answers, and then you keep your score. Tess, you had one and then changed it. What did you change it to? Stick with your first answer. Stick with your gut instinct. Give yourself a point for getting the right answer first time round. And the next time, don't change your mind, okay? But Mickey, there is only one Mickey allowed in a park at any one time in Disney. Can't spoil the magic. That's a good rule, right? It's like apparently there must be, It's a Small World in every Disney park. They have to have that because that was his favorite ride and his favorite tune. And there's actually one of the Marvel movies, if you watch them, there's a little scene where somebody says, can I whistle? And they say, don't whistle. But then he does whistle anyway. And he whistles, it's a small world. Anyway, so there you go. All these little nuggets, Easter eggs hanging around. Alex, yeah. Don't give the answer away. Here we go. So, Mickey Mouse, there's one. The Princess Castle in the Magic Kingdom, Walt Disney World, is Cinderella's castle, not to be confused with Sleeping Beauty's castle in Disneyland Paris. So it's Cinderella's castle in Walt Disney World. Disneyland Paris, so hopefully somebody's written down an answer to this test. Hopefully you've got that now. It was called Euro Disney because it was supposed to signify the arrival of Disney in Europe. So Euro Disney or Europa Disney if you want it. It was called Euro Disney, but anything to do with Europe you can have. I'll give you that because you might not have been around, obviously, in 1992 when it opened. And that's why they put it in Paris. It was nearly in England. There were kind of people bidding for it, and at one point we thought it was going to be just outside London. In fact, maybe where they've done Harry Potter World, I think that's maybe where it was going to be. But where Harry Potter World is now, just outside London in Hertfordshire. But it ended up in Paris, so not too far away. We're certainly closer than lots of people in Eastern Europe, but I guess the people most. You changed the castle one as well, Tessa. You can't keep telling me this. You can't keep telling me, oh, I had the right answer. Right. Trust yourself, okay? If you think you had the right answer, stick with it. If you didn't, okay? But if you had the right answer in the first place, you go with it. Okay, here we go. Which Disney movie is the Spinning Teacups ride based on? So this is 14. It's found in 2 Disney parks, Paris and Hong Kong. It's from Alice in Wonderland, the Spinning Teacups from the Tea Party, the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So it's Alice in Wonderland, and there's all kinds of other things going on, like the Queen of Hearts and the cards and that kind of stuff going on, and the flowers. So it's the Alice in Wonderland Spinning Teacups. And within 5 years, when did the first Disneyland park open? It was Anaheim, California. I told you that. I think it was 1955. So anywhere between 1950 and 1960 you can have, okay? Which hopefully gives you a broad range to choose from. Might be a lot earlier than some of you realized. Okay, there we go. Stitch, thank you. Oh, who are we going for? I've got another Minnie. I think this is about the 3rd Minnie that I've pulled out the bag. I don't know why we've got so many Minnie Mouses, but I guess I've got 2 daughters. Why wouldn't I have a lot of Minnie Mouses? So here we go with the Marvel answers. Avengers Endgame, highest grossing movie of all time. I think that's probably still true. It actually grossed just under $2.8 billion. And so it was, I think it was 2797. I think I'm reading it out. It was 2797800564. So about 2.8. So you can have anywhere between 2.5 and 3.1. Okay, anywhere between 2.5 and 3.1 billion dollars. I'm going to give you that. Okay, that gives you the mark. If you had 2.4, 3.2, I'll give you a half. How's that for generosity? Okay. Which key Avenger switch actor? It was the Hulk. Billion, Tessa, 2.8 billion. The Hulk changed actor, and if you got this, obviously most of us will know it's Mark Ruffalo now. Has been since kind of Avengers, but the initial Hulk movie was Edward Norton. I haven't actually looked up on why he stopped doing it, whether they didn't want him anymore, or he pulled out. I don't know that story. Oh, sorry, that was a mistake, Tessa. Just don't worry about it. You just keep chatting. It's just nice to know someone's there. It's brilliant. Just keep chatting away. I know it's probably busy. You kind of like, some of you are typing on the chat. Some of you won't be able to type on the chat, and you're all concentrating on trying to give the answers. So I'll just keep concentrating on giving the questions and the answers. So yeah, the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, Edward Norton. So you get 1 for the Hulk, and if you got Ruffalo, no bonuses. But you got Ruffalo and Norton, you get a bonus. The first female Avenger in terms of the movies, that's obviously Black Widow, and 2 others, Wanda and Captain Marvel. Okay, so they're your bonuses. So you need at least 2. If you want to give me any other suggestions that maybe I haven't thought of, but the first one to appear in the movie, the one's kind of there from the start of the movies. The first one historically is obviously Captain Marvel, but the first one in the movies is Black Widow, and then you've got Wanda, Captain Marvel. Any others you want to nominate, feel free, and I'll see if I agree with you. Okay, thanks, Minnie. Scarlet Witch. In the Marvel movies? What about Gamora? Oh, true. Not strictly speaking an Avenger. Abdullah, nice to see you. How are you? Scarlet Witch is Wanda. Yeah, no, yeah. Thanks. I was thinking, yeah. Wanda is the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, thank you. So that's another one. And Gamora, I'll give you Gamora. I like Gamora. Not her sister. What's she called? What's the blue one? So Gamora's the green one, right? So we like her. The blue one, ooh, bit edgy. Let me see what I've got in the props box. Okay, it's time for the ears. Okay, here we go. There we go. Oh, crikey, it's a bit of a bad angle. There we go. Just cover up the haircut. Ignore the fact they're mini ears. I've explained the fact I've got daughters, so they're mini rather than Mickey ears. Nebula, thank you, Gemma. Izzy, thank you. Hugo, thank you. Nebula. I'm good. So how are you, Abdullah? Really good to see you. Have you just joined in, or have you just probably just woken up, right? Over there in Pakistan. So I hope you're well. Lovely to have people. I've got people tuning in from the United States, just outside New York. I've got people from Pakistan. I don't know where you are in Pakistan, Abdullah. Feel free to kind of let me know. Give me a bit of a location there. But we're kind of 2/3 of the way through, and we're on the Marvel questions. But yeah, you can have Gamora, but you can't have Nebula. Even though, thank you for reminding me she was called Nebula. I appreciate that. So, what is Thor's hammer called, and which two other characters can lift it? Thor's hammer is Mjolnir, as in meow be mule, okay, and then near, as in not far, okay. So anything like that. It's 8 p.m. out there. He's been up for some time. Okay, see, my geography used this, Abdullah. He's in Karachi. Okay, wow. So you're right in the hub of it. Okay, hopefully you're surviving well during lockdown, and hopefully you're going well with the quiz, Abdullah. If you need anything repeated, any questions repeated, I'm not going through the first 20, but if you need anything more recent than that, be delighted to help out. But great to see you on the chat. So Mjolnir, and obviously any spelling approximate to that. So the spelling is Mjolnir. Anything that approximates to Mjolnir, but not Minimir or Maramir or Miramax or anything like that. Okay, Mjolnir. It's got to be something like that. Oh, Mrs. Williams there too. How are you getting on, Mrs. Williams? You didn't tell me your score from the first round. I need to know how you were getting on with your scores. What did you get out of 10? And the other two people that can lift it, I think everyone remembers that in Endgame, Captain America could lift it. He became worthy. And there's a scene in one of the earlier movies when he nearly lifts it. He just moves it a bit. And you see Thor's face go, what? Okay. And when he does lift it towards the end, people say, I thought that was going to happen. I could see that coming. But the other person that can lift it without a second thought is Vision. Vision, who of course gets killed later on. So maybe he's not a person because he's kind of built. He's a construct. You want to turn it up, but if he becomes a character in his own right, obviously he has the Infinity Stone, played by Paul Bettany, but he can lift the hammer, just bing like that. So they're the two characters. Thank goodness you have boys to help with Avengers questions. Absolutely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a point for knowing the hammer, Mjolnir, and I'm going to give you a point for Captain America being able to lift it, Steve Rogers, and a point if you also got the Vision could lift it. Okay. And then, so Stan Lee, cameo in all the movies. Who does he get mistaken for at the party? So he's there at the party, champagne's going around, Tony Stark, bit of a playboy of the Western world, etc., etc. And Stan Lee's at the party with a group of ladies, and Tony Stark says, "Evening, Hef," as in Hugh Hefner. So if you've got Hef or Hefner or Hugh Hefner, and Stanley's response, I always get that. I'm used to it. Okay, he gets mistaken for Hugh Hefner. Okay, so that's that. And I doubt many of you would have got that, but I thought it'd be a bit too obvious just to kind of say who makes a cameo. So these questions get harder as they go on. So that's the first of 20 questions. So we're 2/3 of the way through. I'm going to try and speed up a little bit for you guys. How are we getting on with the scores? Gemma will tell me what it's actually out of by now. What it would be, 12, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Is kind of out of 26 by now, Gemma? Maybe you'll kind of correct me on that. I think it might be a little bit higher even. How are people getting on out of 20 or 26, depending on what level standard you're playing to? So Izzy and Mum got 11 this time. That's really, really good. 11 out of 10 or 11 out of the 12 or 13. Tessa only got 1 point this round. And that was the one I gave her when they changed their mind. I'm going to give you a bonus mark for being honest, Tessa. So you've now got 2. Johnny got 8. Izzy's got 21 out of 26. Wow. Nelson's on 16 out of 20. He got 10 this time round. Johnny's on 16 in total. Tess is on a solid 5 out of 20. But don't forget the bonus I just gave you, Tess. So that'll put you on 6 out of 20, I hope. These are starting to bite. I'm just going to change them up. But all I've got in the props box is another pair of ears. So there we go. We'll move on to the last section now. I might not wear these for long, by the way, but if it gives you a good laugh, don't. You're going to photograph the screen, aren't you? And then, yeah. Rough House Media, 15.5 out of 26. That's a good score. And Gemma on 18. Crikey. So who's winning so far? That's the Rileys out in front on 21. Depending on how many you get for Black Widow. Okay, so so what you got for the Black Widow was, if you named Black Widow, that was 1. If you named Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch, and Captain Marvel, you got another 1. So that question was potentially out of 2. Let's see you getting on, but I think the Rileys are way ahead on 21. Okay, last 2 sections: Disney music and then Star Wars. Star Wars, I had to sneak that in there as well. Robbie's not come back to me, but I know he was hoping for the Marvel and the Star Wars. Disney music, nice easy one, but you need all 3 words. Complete the lyrics from Mary Poppins. A blank of blank helps the blank go down. A blank of blank helps the blank go down. You need all 3 words for the point, because that's the easy one. Okay? A blank of blank helps the blank go down. So replace the blanks with actual words. You'll get 3 words. It will make sense. Hum it to yourself, whistle it to yourself. And there we go. So Ethan, with the 2 bonuses, 13.5. Brilliant. Rough House Media group on 16.5. There's some good scores coming in. There's some solid scores. I'm not going to invite back. I quite liked having Stitch for a while. He's going to come back. I've kind of run out of. Well, I could always set up Iron Man, but I've just got a feeling if he fell over, he'd fall apart into bits. And this isn't actually even Iron Man. If you know the Iron Man story, this is the big thing that comes out of the sky when he needs to fight Hulk. And kind of Iron Man's in there, so he can kind of fall out. So let's go. Who sings the song Reflection? Okay, in which Disney movie, who sings the song Reflection? Now, the clue is, and this is why it's a slightly easy one, the name of the movie is the name of the character. It's an eponymous movie. So if you guess at a movie that's named after a character or a character that's named in the movie and think about the song Reflection, you should get this one. The Hulkbuster. No, it's not called the Hulkbuster. Is it? It's got a name like Veronica or something like that. Is it Veronica? That thing in the sky, and then it comes down, and then he gets in it, and then it's massive. It's bigger than Hulk. It's like this enormous thing. So, okay, who sings Reflection? Bonus is here. Okay, how many Lion King songs were nominated for an Oscar, and which one of them won it? So there's 2. There's a kind of a. You can get either one for a point and both for 2 points. How many Lion King songs were nominated for Oscars, and which one of them won it? Is he? The satellite's called Veronica or something, and the suit is Hulkbuster. Oh, okay, right, okay. So the thing in the sky is Veronica. He calls Veronica, and it sends down the Hulkbuster, which he then sits in. So it is called Hulk. Thank you, is it? Okay, brilliant. Do you know, I never knew. So My Hero Potato, apologies, it is the Hulkbuster. I just have Veronica in my head. So I was thinking Veronica, Vanessa, Valerian Steele, who knows? Okay, so this is question 24. What's the name of the character who sang Kiss the Girl in The Little Mermaid? The name of the character who sings Kiss the Girl in Little Mermaid. That's like the Calypso song. Okay. There's a lot of other people joining in on that song, I think, from memory. But who's the man who sings the song? I'm kind of giving it away, haven't I? I've cut it down by 50%. Who's the man? Who's the person? Who's the creature? Who's the animal? Who's the character that sings the song Kiss the Girl? That's a good question. How did he know that he needed to fight the Hulk? Why create the Hulkbuster? Did he see the Hulk as an enemy? I don't know. And finally, question 25. In which Disney movie, this is the toughie, don't forget, they get harder as they go along. So you found them easy so far, well done. But this is a toughie. In which Disney movie do the songs Portobello Road and The Beautiful Briny Sea appear? Which Disney movie do the songs Portobello Road and The Beautiful Briny Sea appear? And in that movie, Portobello Road looks nothing like Portobello Road. Thanks, Stitch. I quite like Merida, actually. I've not seen Merida for a while. It's quite good to see her. So I'm going to get her out for the final round. Okay. Star Wars. Here we go. 26. What type of animal, what race of animal is Chewbacca? Oh, can I repeat the question, please? Which one, Gemma? The very last one. In which Disney movie do the songs Portobello Road and The Beautiful Briny Sea appear? That's question 25. Is that the one you needed? I hope so. If not, give me a number and I'll go back to it. Okay. Question 26. What race of animal creature is Chewbacca? Okay, that's the easy one. Question 27. What is Emperor Palpatine's Sith name or identity? What is Emperor Palpatine's Sith name or identity? So, like, we know that Ben becomes Darth Vader. Emperor Palpatine is, what's his Sith identity? The kind of the Sith are the opposite of the Jedi. Okay. Question 28. This is for 2 marks. So 1 mark for any part of the relationship, 2 marks for getting it all. What is the relationship between, let's get the names right here, Padme Amidala, Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia? So Padme, we know Padme Amidala from the early films, from 1, 2, 3. Luke Skywalker, who we know from all the movies, and Princess Leia, who we know from the kind of core group and then a little bit into the kind of the newer phase. What's the relationship between the 3 of them? Nearly there. Question 29. Where does Yoda live? What planet? What star system? What what's the name of where Yoda lives? I kind of sense out there people are going, ooh, there's a bit of that going on. Would that be right? Help them out, Merida. Yep, they are getting harder. And finally, to finish off, I thought I wouldn't make it too tough. Make it kind of, I think this is one that's a fun question. I think it's a character that everybody kind of forgets but then loves from the Star Wars movies. Which friend, in inverted commas, of Han Solo's first betrays him and then sets out with others to help save him from bounty hunters? So which friend, in inverted commas, of Han Solo's first betrays him and then helps to save him from bounty hunters, from his captives? Ethan Hammond is a bit of a Star Wars nerd, so hopefully, Ethan, you've got all of these. I really do hope you're helping out the family. Young Isabel and Ma and Pa Hammond, you're helping them out with that. Okay, so unless there's any repeat questions, I'm going to run through the answers for these, and that'll bring us to the end, and then we'll find out who's won, and we'll find out who our kind of Disney star is. Gemma hasn't seen. Oh, this could kill the Drea score. Gemma's not seen a single Star Wars movie. Oh my goodness. Nelson, if you get them wrong now, that would be a bit embarrassing. Well, you're wrong. Tessa watched one ages ago. Johnny, think he got more Star Wars questions than all the others put together. So, anybody need any questions repeated? Okay, in we go. 21. Complete the lyrics from the Mary Poppins song. It was a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So you're looking for spoonful, sugar, medicine. Okay. Spoonful. Gemma's brother has watched them though. So okay. Okay. And Ethan's with Johnny. So spoonful of sugar helps medicine go down. So that's 1 point for getting those 3 words. You got any of them wrong, you don't get the point. Yeah, that's a tough one. Gemma says she's on 28 already. Is that right? Is that your final score, Gemma? Or is that kind of where you were up to before? Your brother is 28. No, he's not. Is he? That must be a much older brother because I know Robert's not that old. Okay, anyway, I'm not sure what 28 is. Oh, can I repeat 28? Sorry. I forgot I'd asked you to repeat questions. So sorry. Okay, right. Here we go. 26, 27, 28. Okay. What's the relationship between Padme Amidala, Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia? And I'll give you 1 mark for any one relationship between, say, 2 of them, and 2 marks if you get the relationship between all 3 of them. Johnny's given me repeat 28 exclamation mark. Just do it. Don't you know what they're saying? So there we go. So Padme Amidala, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia. What's the relationship? Okay. So 21 was spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Spoonful sugar medicine. 22, Mulan sings the song Reflection. 23, how many Lion King songs nominated for an Oscar? 3. And the winner was Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Okay, so you have to have those kind of, you get 1 each, but you go 1 for saying 3 and 1 for saying Can You Feel the Love Tonight? There's no kind of half marks in there, okay, for naming any of the other songs. 24, the character who sings Kiss the Girl in Little Mermaid is Sebastian. Okay, I don't know if anyone would have got that. I'm sure, I hope some of you would have done. And the film in which the 2 songs appear, Portobello Road and The Beautiful Briny Sea, is Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Okay, and the people that wrote the songs for that, the Sherman Brothers, same writers for Mary Poppins. So they wrote the songs. So if you haven't seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks, that's a real treat. It's not up to Mary Poppins quality, but it's still a treat, quite funny and really good stuff. And some overlap in kind of actors as well. Did I get a mark for the crab? I'm going to give you a half mark for the crab, Tessa. I think you're on cue there. You guessed question 3 and got both right on a pin. Very good. Well done. I'm going to give you a half mark for the crab. You can take that, particularly seeing as you're guessing some right as well. So let's move on to 26, unless anybody wants any answers repeated. And if you do name a number this time, I will remember what you're referring to. Chewbacca is a Wookiee. So hopefully, Ethan, you won't get those wrong. Don't worry. You know that Chewbacca's a Wookiee. Everybody knows Chewbacca's a Wookiee. Emperor Palpatine's Sith name is Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious. Don't worry about how you're spelling Sidious, as long as it looks like Sidious. Sidious. Darth Sidious. But don't worry, as long as it looks like Sidious, sounds like Sidious, then it's Sidious. There we go. So Wookiee, Darth Sidious. The relationship is that Padme is the mother to Luke and Leia. So they're brother, sister, and she's mother, son, mother, daughter. So if you say she's the mother, they're brother, sister, you've got both points. If you say brother, sister, that's 1. If you say mother, son, or mother, daughter, that's 1 point. Anything for father? No. Okay. But anything to do with mother, son, mother, daughter, or brother, sister, any of those, 1 point for each. If you get both of them, you get 2 points. Okay. You should have to say they're twins. You could, but they're still brother, sister. Are you looking for a bonus there, Johnny, for twins? And Ethan? I'll give you a half mark bonus for saying they're twins. Okay. Yoda lives on Dagobah. Okay. Dagoba, Dagobah. And the Dagobah system is it? No, it's not in the Dagobah system. It's the Dagobah is the planet, isn't it? It's in a something system that Ethan and Johnny will tell me about in a minute, because they both kind of know this stuff very, very, very well indeed. So yeah, Ethan, yeah. So I think I should just do a Star Wars quiz for Ethan and Johnny. So yeah, Dagobah is where Yoda lives. And finally, which friend of Han Solo's betrays him and then helps to save him from bounty hunters? Lando Calrissian. Sorry, but again, don't worry about the spelling. Landau, Calrissian. It's Lando Calrissian. If you knew who it was, it will sound something like that. And it's the last question, so be kind on yourself. Anything similar, says Merida, just give yourself the score. Okay. So apparently I've got to do a Star Wars quiz now for Ethan and Johnny, maybe sometime. So, guys, toss up your scores. Gemma will tell us how much it's out of. I'm sure it's out of far more than 30. It's probably closer to 40 now with all the bonus marks. And let's see who's done well. Give us all your scores. So don't be shy, Mrs. Williams and the Riley family. Haven't heard from a few people in a while. Nelson, 20. Good score. Nelson, that's a really good score. I like that a lot. Tess, nothing for Star Wars. But 4.5 for music, so satisfying 10.5 out of 30. That's nearly half. It's not, Tessa. 15. 15 is half, so 13, 14 would be nearly half. 10.5 out of 30 is like a third. It's more than a third. Tessa, let's do that. You got more than a third, considering there were topics in there you knew nothing about. But you could say it's more than half if you didn't include those areas you knew nothing about, like Marvel and Star Wars. So let's do that. Izzy, 33.5 out of 38.5. Wow. I think that's gonna put you top of the tree. I think the Rileys have won this. I think they've run away with it. Roughhouse Media, 25, got all of the Star Wars right. Willwood, that's the Fitzgeralds, isn't it? Sorry. Will would go for a Star Wars quiz. Okay, maybe we'll have to do Star Wars as a separate quiz one day. Ethan, 22.5. So we've got the Fitzgeralds on 25. Ethan, 22.5. Still got the Rileys out in front on 33.5. Johnny, 27. Johnny's now second. Gemma, 33 out of 37.5. Now, the Rileys think it's out of 38.5. So it might be a bit, the Rileys are just beating you by half a mark. So it goes the Rileys, then the Dreyers, then it goes Johnny. Is he Riley or 33 out of 30? Well, 33 out of 30. I think you still win. I'm going to give top prize to the Rileys and the Dreyers. I'm going to put you guys joint top, and then joint second looks like Johnny and the Williamses. Miss Williams rather, with the fam. They've got 26, 27. I think it's so close. And then we've got Ethan. And who else have we got? Oh, I've left out the Fitzgerald somewhere along the line. Again, going back to where they got 25, so they'd be next. Some really good scores coming through here, guys. Any more to fire through before we close? Thank you for joining me. It's been slightly longer than I meant it to be. I'm sorry it lasted nearly an hour. Next time I'll aim for 20, 25 questions maybe. Big reveal. Next week's theme is sport, but it's not just sport as we know it, because there's lots of other sports. So it's going to be, don't forget, it's going to be Movie Monday. So it's going to be films with sporting themes. Tracks Tuesday, so songs about sport or other associated things. Wacky Wednesday, so maybe books about films or slightly weird and wonderful movies. Throwback Thursday, so maybe some throwbacks on sport to do with KGS history and alumni. And then the finale Friday, big surprise. And then the sports quiz, which won't, again, just be about all kinds of sports events. It will be about sport in movies, sports in songs, sports in lots of things that everyone can get involved in. So that's the big reveal for next week. Hopefully a big category for everyone to get involved in. And I'll take on board. Oh, and Ethan said, Johnny, did you get the Star Wars questions right? And Johnny said, of course, ! I mean, Ethan, don't even ask. It's just like, it's not worth it. Guys, it's been great to see you. Thank you for joining in. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. I won't see you now till first thing Monday morning with our Movie Monday for the new theme of sport. Just have a lovely weekend. Have a great week this week, I hope. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. You're very welcome, Fitzgerald. It's been an absolute pleasure. Kind of adds to my day as well, and hopefully it adds a little bit of something to yours. Headmaster out. See you, everybody.